All right, here we go for match one. Let's see what we can do. I would like to play first. Well, I get Sculler potentially into Relic Warder. This is certainly a keep. I would like to have another white. I'm kind of scared of them having a Mox or something like that, but welcome to Powered Cube. Like, Mentor into Lingering Souls does give us a good bit of tokens. Workshop is terrifying. Workshop into Porcelain Legionnaire, kind of not that bad. Let's see if you got something better over there than this. Just kind of curious about what's in your hand. Daze and a Black Lotus. Well, I can play around the Daze. Mere Battlesphere is terrifying. They've got 3 mana for it here, and the other for it here. So we were about to see a turn 2 Battlesphere, but I'm gonna gobble up that Black Lotus as fast as I can. We can play around Daze. Assuming we hit another land, that is. But yeah, Battlesphere on turn 2. Probably not something we're beating. I don't think they should want to be trading damage with me, but I'll certainly take it if they'd like. Like, ideally we draw a Plains, we get to Relic Warder that after they don't attack with it, and then just shenanigans ensue. How many times do you think there's been a Black Lotus under a Tide Hollow Sculler? I like that there's cards in our deck that encourage them to both play it out early, like the Sculler, and hold it in their hand, like the Relic Warder. So here it's a matter of, would we like to trade any of our cards for a Daze? And I don't think so. Although if I don't, at some point, trade something for a Daze. Like, trading something for a Daze here sets them back an entire turn. They can't tap this for anything. So I think I'm going to run out the Bitter Blossom so we know that hits. And if they'd like to Time Walk themselves to counter a Soldier of the Pantheon, that's just fine. I kind of didn't think they would, but that's all right. It just, I think, sets them too far behind. So white mana is still the best draw in the deck. So we can start them beatdowns. And there's 9 more sources in the deck, right? Like, we should be able to do that. Smokestack looks like it'd be pretty good here too. I think I can go Lingering Souls. Again, if they Daze me, bro, it's setting them back an entire turn. We're getting really close to Mere Battlesphere hitting, though. Yeah, I kind of need that Smokestack to land next turn. I wonder if there's any chance that they would Daze this. There's probably not. I'll run out the Lingering Souls. That at least does something. Because they're going to have the Daze next turn. And then the turn after, we're looking at a Battlesphere. This is not a fair card. So we're like, woohoo, we can attack for 3 next turn. Okay, dokie. That's a Mere Battlesphere, boys and girls. So what's up is if we can get rid of it, we can out-token them. They've still got a Daze, but I need a white right now, and we can keep playing Magic for a little bit. Smokestack is looking a little dead. Show me white mana. Dang it. That is going to kill me. I mean, the Death Touch Snake does something, but Home Slice is probably going to get countered here. I need to see if they counter this first before I know whether or not I can attack. Okay. That probably just means they have a removal spell. We'll do what we can, because we must. They're not attacking, I think we're pretty happy. Man, my kingdom for some lands, but okay. I'm down with what's happening so far. I can't believe this is working. But it does appear to be working. Like we're swinging for 7 next turn. That's a lot of damage. Okay, so board is wiped. They have exactly a battle ball. All right. I may actually be able to recover from that faster than them. The challenge of relic warding a battle sphere is probably a bit obvious. And that if they get it back, you're pretty sad. So I think I may have to go mentor here. Like if they're able to actually kill the relic warder, and we know that they have red mana in their deck, it's presumably for things like this that kill things. Like giving them the battle sphere back is really terrible. If I play the Restoration Angel, they're just going to counter it. So I think I like mentor here, pass. It'll give me a stream of tokens that can chump that. Because next turn I can cast the Smokestack, and if they want to counter it or not, I don't care. I just need the trigger. Ideally, they cast some giant artifact without a comes into play ability. That's not a giant artifact without a comes into play ability. That is, in fact, kind of the opposite of that. Mr. Workshop is a hell of a card. Yeah, I think it's a card that's going to destroy us here. Like, our deck looks really good for a Legacy Cube deck, just not a Vintage Cube deck. When there's people with, like, Black Lotus, Mishra's Workshop, like, you're probably going to die to that. I think I take the 4. We're looking like we may just die to our own Bitter Blossom. God, and it's a swamp. So I have to chump both here just to get another draw. And I don't think we have any draws that do it, but we can try. We can try. And a Mox. Okie dokie. If we take the 4 here, we die to our Bitter Blossom, so we have to double chump. I still, again, don't know that we have a way to win through that, but I'll look at another card. Yeah, that ain't gonna do it. So I think we're acutely interested in Disenchant. That needs to come into this deck. Oh, it's already in there. Good for me. Good for me. We knew that was going to be good. Now, balance against somebody who's trying to do giant things like that, usually not very good. So we could look at potentially trying to get a Strix in. Potentially trying to play balance. I'm still not in love with that. Like, it's sack creatures. You can usually engineer a board state where this is fine. And I might just be wrong not to play it. The smokestack looked good until they resolved the thing that did the stuff. How bad do I have to screw up my mana to get Dak Faden in here? Because, like, stealing their artifact seems pretty good. So I would play... Because I've got to have red and blue. Flooded Strand would get me one of the two, and then I've just got to naturally draw the other. I could even run the Izzet Signet over the Orzhov Signet. And then I don't think that's going to work on the play. I may have to consider that on the draw. All right, I like the Disenchant. I like the Mentor. I like the mana. This hand's going to need a little bit of help, but we can do something with it. I don't think we're looking at being able to beat like a very early Sundering Titan, but we could do a lot else. And so we'll have Disenchant up. Lavamancer's interesting. I presume that's a sideboard card for me. I probably want to jam the Affinimancer before the Mentor, just in case I draw like Mentor and a spell that I can cast. I'm pretty sure we want to pop that. Although Relic Order is such a convenient answer to it. But like, this is here to stop ramp. For all we know, they need the mana. Alright, so it's Mentor with Faith's Fetters as the plan next turn, or Affinimancer. I think I'm digging the Affinimancer first. Like, Smokestack could get interesting here. Oh, God. What is it that's going to destroy me? An Inkwell Leviathan. That's actually not really a problem because we have a Death Toucher to block it. Like, we're going to take a lot of damage, but that's kind of okay. I mean, not 100% okay, but kind of okay. I mean, their turn 4 was to play a 7/11 Island Walk Trample Shroud, and ours was to play a 2/2. But I mean, I think that's all right. They like have to kill my Mentor, right? Like, if I run out Faith's Fetters on this guy and they kill this in response, we've got a nice little loop going. I may just want to run out a Naked Recurring Nightmare. Like, that just leaves them in a position not to be able to kill any of my guys. I don't really know how we win from there. But I know it's a start. Like, the loop is now set up. And I need to save this for the next threat. I mean, the downside here is something like Mystic Confluence from them or whatever, but yeah, I kind of don't want to cast anything, which is weird. Like, what does this even do? I take their Boros Signet away from them. I guess that takes them off of white mana, which is not irrelevant. But I kind of want to have a creature that I can play if they cast Mystic Confluence. Not Confluence, Fiery Confluence. That's the card I'm thinking about. Like if they've got some sort of wrath effect, I need to be able to recover from it. I hate sitting here with a Naked Recurring Nightmare just not doing anything, but like show me a Shriek Maw. Fact or Fiction's pretty terrible. Skull Clamp's pretty terrible. Izzet Charm's not that bad. I guess the card I really don't want them to have is the Mirror Battlesphere. Although even that's not that big a deal. I mean, it's bad, but it's not great. The Sundering Titan, I could just Relic Warder. Like, the Sundering Titan's almost worse for them than it is for me. I'm going to put that, Skull Clamp, and this here. Like, Skull Clamp and Battlesphere are the two cards I'm not interested in. Yeah, the Battlesphere is sort of a problem, but also can be Faith's Fettered. Maybe their plan is to get 20 cards in the graveyard and Grim Lavamancer me to death. But what they don't know is Faith's Fetters will fix that. That doesn't do much. I don't really feel the need to cast this right now. Like, I'm fine with it sitting in my hand. I sacrificed the wrong one because now they kill this into turn. Yep, we just screwed up. If I sacrifice this token, it's way better. They just burn this guy again. They start getting in damage. I messed that up big time. Big time. Oh my god. How do you screw up that badly? Because that's how they're going to kill me. And I didn't even notice it until right now. Alright. That means I probably have to do something to get rid of the Lavamancer. I can sack this with the trigger on the stack, which is interesting, but yeah, I just screwed up big time. And I think lost the game because of it. Because I can't sit here and take 14 over and over. Like, I just committed myself to taking 14 damage. Assuming they have nothing in hand, and they can even Izzet Charm to fuel it up more. I said they were going to kill me with the Grim Lavamancer, and as it turns out, they are. That's exactly what they're going to do. If they're doing anything, okay, whew. Like, it's not good to get my Recurring Nightmare countered, but them just burning through this and hitting me with the Leviathan would be way worse. Way worse than that. So, like, they got locked into a line of play and didn't notice the mistake I made, which is fantastic. Unless they upkeep ping it. God, they can still notice it and get me. But they let me have it. I appreciate this. This is good news. Oh man, that was close to just throwing the game away. Now I've lost some value and some win condition potentially, but we didn't just lose. I've got to keep that Death Touch and Snake in play despite everything. I think we can happily Smokestack here though. What artifact spell are you casting at instant speed? I'm not aware of any instant speed artifacts. Oh, that one. That's an instant speed artifact. Oh my god! They're gonna counter my smokestack and draw some cards. That's again what I was nervous about when we drafted this deck. It looks like just a fantastic Legacy Cube deck, but Vintage Cube, no. I'm making 1/1s, they're making 5/6s. Oh my god, Snapcaster Gearhulk just ruining my day. No, no, no. I'm not entirely sure what has to happen for us to win this game. Probably a number of mistakes that involve them not recognizing I'm very vulnerable to my Affinimancer dying. What instant speed artifacts are there? Man, I just can't get away from Kaladesh. I don't want to play Kaladesh. And here it is still messing with me. Don't kill my Affinimancer, just anything else, buddy. Kill that snake. No, they saw the line. They saw the line. And Chandra for -X doesn't really leave me in a good position. Okay. Like, we can potentially have another turn. I just don't really know what we can do with it. But we cannot die to Chandra. That's a start. And we cannot die to a Gearhulk. They're going to Izzet Charm us. They're going to get to cast Fact or Fiction. All of these things are terrible. It may look like we lost to these expensive cards, but that's not really what killed us. What killed us was the fast mana. Like being able to resolve this type of creature against an aggressive deck, and our deck's not technically that aggressive. It's more like medium minus mid range. Will get you. But again, the Holiday Cube is a lot of fun in my estimation. Because sometimes you get to be the guy or the gal with the Black Lotus instead of the one getting destroyed by it. We're dead to the Fiery Confluence, so we can move along with our life and hopefully play someone who doesn't have so much power. I think that's our shot to get there. And like I said, I would be very happy if this deck is able to pull off a 2-1. That may actually be the ceiling for it rather than the floor. But let's rally, try another one, and see what we can do. I have high hopes for Smokestacks and Recurring Nightmare, Shriek Maw. Like building up a lot of tokens. We just can't play against somebody with a deck that's that broken, or we're gonna lose. Thanks for watching. I'll see you for round 2 in just a minute.